when the report first surfaced during the show on Tuesday, it was up to, and up to is always doing a lot of work, up to $25 million per year. And I think they were using that because there was kind of a sense that Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs should get $25 million a year. Yeah, the market's 20.6, but these guys are good enough. They should get $25 million per year, new money APY. It turns out it's $22.25 million new money APY with incentives, and we're still waiting to get the contract details. They'll come out at some point. We're able to break the whole thing down, but he does move the needle from 20.6 to 22.25. But, Devin, I was doing the math yesterday. When you factor in what Bijan Robinson was already going to make this year and next year, and you throw the 3 years onto it, because that's what happens. This new up to $75 million all gets added into the same pot. It's like $16.36 million per year on a 5-year deal. If you told a team right now, hey, you can have Bijan Robinson for the next 5 years at $16.36 million, that's ski mask stuff. Hell yes, I'll take Bijan Robinson for $16.36 million over the next 5 years. And it doesn't get presented that way. It gets presented with this new money thing. And, you know, the agents do it because it makes the deals look better. The players like it because it makes the deals look better. The teams like it because the player feels better about the deal, while the team's sitting back there saying, we got this guy for $16 million over the next 5 years. I mean, this is a pretty good deal. So that's the end result. And it's a product of the market at running back, because there's no way, whether we look at the new money of 22.25 or the real 5-year average of $16 million, that's well below what Bijan Robinson's worth.
It's funny to me because I feel like early in my career, I feel like when guys signed deals, the new deal got released or whatever you want to say, but then it also right under was told as like what that person's contract actually was. So if you got a 3-year extension, I feel like it used to get reported as 3-year extension now makes his contract 5 years, X amount, or 4 years.
I do that, but nobody else
does that.
Because everybody else is part of this hive of hand-delivered information. And if you're one of the insiders who's getting it, you're not going to do anything other than what the agent wants you to do, because it looks better for the agent if you only focus on the big number. And it's always about pumping it up and making the biggest number, because then they take that and they use that to recruit other clients. You've lived that. I'm sure you've had guys hitting you up trying, hey, look at this deal I did. Look at this deal I did. That's what it's all about. They want to be able to say to somebody they're trying to recruit, look at this deal I did.
The thing for me was I used to say, like, I understand all of that, but as a player, you should still want to know what your contract is. And that used to be whenever someone signed an extension, especially right around when I was going to have a chance to get a second contract, that was the only thing I did. All right, what does this actually mean? And that's the thing that surprises me sometimes when I see guys get released 2 years into a deal. They seem kind of surprised. And I'm like, did you not look at the actual language of your deal? Yeah, the new money came in, but what did the new money change about your original contract? How many years of guarantee? All of those little things that, to me, are the kind of meat and bones of your contract, and let you know, hey, if I'm performing at a high level, everyone knows if you keep performing at a high level, you're going to keep playing out your contract. But you kind of want to know, hey, if my numbers aren't as high, if I get hurt, what's the realistic out for this team to move on and get away from me? And if that happens, what am I making, so I know exactly what that is? And I think that's what gets lost in all of these things. Bijan Robinson, unbelievable talent. You don't expect to see that, but you just don't know what'll happen in your career. You get one injury and you're not the same. Next thing you know, that 5-year deal now looks like 2.5 years, 3 years. So I'm always shocked that as this continues to happen year after year, it feels like guys move further away from what the actual truth of their contract is. And look, for Bijan Robinson, the value of, hey, it is $16 million, you get your contract early. And that's was something I know when I was a player was always kind of, if you get paid really early, then you understand later in your deal, you're not going to make what you should make. You have to understand when you want to go back and ask for more money. Gronkowski got, I think, a 4-year or 6-year extension after our second year. So he was always under contract in New England for like 8 years and had to always negotiate how to get a little bit more money. But that was because he got paid so early, where my contract, I didn't get paid early anytime I signed. And we were kind of making, at one point, me and Gronk were making relatively the same, or I was making a little bit more. I remember being on the plane with him back from our White House visit the first year after we won Super Bowl in 2014. I was like, me and you shouldn't be making the same money. I was like, that's just, it doesn't really make sense. But that was what you paid for kind of when you got paid so early.
Well, they give you a lot of money early. The Eagles used to do this years ago, and they're kind of doing it now. They're doing it more strategically, and now you have to wait 3 years. Mm-hmm. You were the last class under that prior CBA that you could have a new deal after 2 seasons. And that's better for the players because it gives you the reward. Yep. If you're going to have this rookie wage scale that reduces what everyone makes, especially at the top, why are you making them wait 3 years? That was one of the dirty little tricks that was played on the union in that 2011 CBA. We're going to restrict what you can make, and we're going to make you wait 1 more year before the guys who pan out can get their contracts. And some teams make them wait 4 years. Some teams make them wait 5 years. But with the issue of the contract and how long it's actually valid for, gets back to something that I wish everyone understood, because the fans are inclined to line up behind the team and the owners. They just want peace. They want the players here. And if there's a fight, they're just going to assume it's a player's fault. Mm-hmm. So it's not a two-way contract because the team can rip it up at any time. The player can't, team can't. The only thing that keeps the team from doing it is the structure, the guarantees, the cap charges, and that's what you're talking about. It's the first thing that a player should understand when he gets the offer, the last best offer from the team. What does this mean? How much money am I going to make no matter what? What's fully guaranteed at the moment I sign it? How much is my signing bonus? When do I get it? How much beyond the signing bonus is fully guaranteed? When are they in a position where they're basically treating me year to year? Because for some of it, it's 2 years. Sometimes it's 3 years. Sometimes the structure makes it 4 years. And Deshaun Watson gets a 5-year deal that's fully guaranteed, and the Browns are stuck with it. So those are all relevant questions. And we try to follow the initial reports with a full breakdown of the deal. But it's amazing. Things move so quickly. Even if I have a full breakdown, and I'm checking my email to see if the Bijan, and my text to see if the Bijan Robinson details come through. But by the time they come out, most people don't care. We moved on to the next thing. Yeah. And that's just the way it goes.
It's funny. When I used to do my contracts, guaranteed at signing was the first thing I looked at. If anything happens, what do I walk away with? And then I would look for the language of on the 5th day or the 6th. Like, I wanted to know when those clauses start to come in. Usually like year 3 or 4, X amount guaranteed by the 5th day of the new league year. Because then you used to sit there thinking my 3rd year I had that. I sat there for those few days of like, I know they say I'm good, but honestly, this money isn't guaranteed until the 5th day of the new league year. I got 5 days to sit here and wonder what's going to happen. And again, a lot of contracts have that in. I'm not telling guys, if you can do a whole contract without that Deshaun Watson all fully guaranteed, that's the best way to do it. That's not going to happen. So to me, you just want to know. So like I knew going into my 3rd year of, hey, there's some flexibility here for the team. They could walk away and say, we're done with this. We've calculated how much you're going to count against the cap, all those things. And you understand. And then I knew, especially when I restructured my deal, because then my cap hits went up at the end of my deal. So all of these things that I just think guys need to value more of understanding, because I think what you're saying is true. The agent wins when your deal comes out and all the headlines. No one really cares towards the end of your contract if your cap numbers are high and the team moves on. People don't really remember. Like I knew for me, they didn't remember I restructured my deal. I remember getting tweets and be like, why are your cap numbers so high? Like, you don't deserve it. And I was like, my cap number is high because the team asked me to restructure my deal to free up cap space at another time earlier, 2 years prior, so they could go make different moves. But then that leaves you as the kind of bad guy. And I just think there's a value in understanding and knowing that as a player. Some guys, it doesn't matter. You're going to keep getting paid. You stay good. You're going to probably be a Hall of Famer. Maybe it doesn't. But for most of the NFL, you want to know those small details and how you can kind of maneuver within there to get the best deals you can get.
Yeah, you get to the out years of your deal with high cap numbers. You want that 5th day of the league year guarantee, because otherwise they'll keep you around, and they'll come up to you right before week 1, and they'll say, here's what we're going to pay you this year.
In Tennessee.
And if you don't like it, you're going to get cut. You're going to get a cut at a time when everybody's roster's set, nobody's got any money left, and you're screwed. And they do that all the time. If you don't have that term in the last few years of your deal, they can just string you along and string you along. By the way, very impressive understanding of the nuances of the business for a guy who went to Rutgers. I'm serious. Were you like taking night classes at Princeton that we're not aware of?
Being in Morgantown, West Virginia. Are we serious? We used to go up there. Everybody was sitting on their couch with fires and a trash can.
No, the fires were the couch. They were sitting in the trash can. The fire was on the couch. Get it right. Get your facts straight.
We were confused every time we went up there. Now, we lost, and we understand that's before you go to it.
Rutgers wasn't a big enough win for us to burn couches. We just burned trash cans after we beat Rutgers. We burned couches after we beat Miami. That's how it goes.
I can understand that.
Right. Not that we ever beat Miami.
And now you guys don't matter, so.
No, but we got a patch. We got a jersey patch. We got 2 jersey patches.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares. No, I know. Look,
Pat White coaches there. That's the only thing y'all need to worry about.
What do you mean?
That's a great thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever tackled him in my life.
They're honoring Pat White, first game of the year. We're going to go there. I met Pat White back in January, and he is like the nicest, most unassuming. It's like, dude, you're Pat White. Like, throw your chest out. He's just a really nice guy.
He could have a statue at Rutgers for what he did to us while I was there. My goodness.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.